Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Grad Center brought to you by Rocky Biochem. Today's episode is going to focus on statement of purpose, that is SOP for short. Writing of statement of purpose happens to be one of the most crucial stages in the graduate school application journey. Statement of purpose enables you, the applicant, to showcase your academic background, your research interest, your research experiences, your career goals, why you are applying to that particular university, and why you think you are a very good fit for their graduate program. So it is very good to learn how to write a very good SOP because the statement of purpose speaks a lot about you. Basically, the graduate school or like the academic committee or the admission committee, they don't know you. Nobody knows you, and due to that, it is the statement of purpose that you write and send to them that makes them get to know you, at the first glance before they even think of scheduling an interview with you or admitting you to their program. So I am going to share the various components of statement of purpose. The first component is the introduction. So the introduction or the introductory paragraph is where you introduce your motivation for applying into a particular program or venturing into a particular area of research that you are interested in. So normally people begin the introductory paragraph with a story, something like a catchy story, something attracting that would draw the attention of the reader. So for instance, I think for my own, there is this story that I wrote. I remember writing that throughout my journey and throughout my undergraduate journey as a biochemistry student, I was kind of confused about the exact area to venture in until I got exposed to how molecular biology technique called the CRISPR is used to introduce genome editing, like how CRISPRs are used to do editing in the genome, and then how it can be used to solve some genetic diseases like sickle cell anemia, and then many other uncurable genetic diseases. So I introduced this whole interest that I have by talking about a particular technique that I got exposed to during my undergraduate study. Someone who has a storyline relating to maybe a relative who fell sick or a beloved one who suffered from a particular condition that attracted the person's interest, or like that made the person interested in exploring more about that particular condition. So sit down and then craft your own story. Some people too, their interest arise from the fact that a condition is not well exploited in their country of origin. So maybe you are in a country whereby they don't take conditions like allergies serious. You can decide to craft something around allergies, that you come from a country whereby people normally suffer from these conditions, but less attention is given to those conditions, and maybe that has captivated your interest to explore more and then potentially find a therapy for such a condition. So find a way to introduce your interest in your introductory paragraph. Make it very nice. Make sure that it catches the attention of the reader. And I would always encourage you, never and never copy anyone's SOP. Never and never copy anyone's introductory paragraph. Sit down and then create your own. Sit down and then craft it to make it your own. Never and then ever copy anyone's work. Now, after introducing your interest by using the introductory paragraph, the next thing that I want you to do is to talk about your educational background. So for your educational background, you can just go straight and then talk about the place whereby you had your undergraduate studies, or maybe if you have master's degree as well, you can talk about both, where you had your undergraduate studies as well as your master's studies. And then you can talk about some of the programs, some of the relevant programs relating to the new area that you are planning on venturing in. So just talk about some relevant programs, some relevant courses that you did. Like let's say you are applying to a program relating to molecular biology, and then you did bachelor's degree, or like you did Bachelor of Science in Biochemistry. Here you can feel free and then make mention of some courses like metabolism in health and then disease, basic microbiology, molecular biology, anything biomedical science related. Just consider your field that you're coming from, and then tailor the kind of courses that you are mentioning to suit the program that you are applying to. So after mentioning the program, some of the relevant programs that some of the relevant courses that you took during your undergraduate studies, then you feel free to talk about maybe your GPA, like your class, your graduating class. Let's say you graduated with first class, second class upper, second class lower. Just feel free to talk about the class that you graduated with. Do not say that you graduated with pass, so you're not going to mention it. Make mention of the class that you graduated with. Even if you graduated with pass, make mention of that, and then SOP gives you the chance to justify yourself. You can explain why you couldn't perform up to expectation. You can explain why at a point in time in your academic journey you were kind of falling, or you were kind of making poor grades as compared to what you were expecting. Because here, the people here are very understanding. They understand that maybe certain circumstances, like maybe death of a beloved person or some incident happened to you, and that kind of made you lose focus in your studying. So they understand if they realize that at a point in time you were performing well, but you were performing poor at a point in time. Just make sure that you explain yourself. Make sure that you explain your academic journey in detail when you reach the stage whereby you are talking about your academic journey in general. Just feel free to talk about anything at all. Just feel free. Talk about what happened in your journey. And then after talking about your educational background, you are also entitled to talk about any research experience that you have. Maybe in the course of your undergraduate studies you embarked on some research internships, or even after school you had a chance to work in a given area, a particular area, or you had a chance to work on a particular research. Just feel free to make mention of all your your research experiences that you have. Make mention of the research experiences, and then the research experience, you don't just have to just say that, let's say, I participated in this research, I participated in this work, blah blah blah. No, make sure that whatever research that you make mention of, you let us know the title of the work, the aim of that research, your role in that research, and then some of the key findings that came out of the work. If it was internship and then you finished the internship before maybe the key findings came, feel free to make mention of that. Let the admission committee know that you couldn't complete the work with them, but throughout your stay with the group, those research group, you were able to perform this and this and that role. Let them know the kind of roles that you were playing in that kind of research, and then make mention of the skills and the technical experiences that you gained from that research that you performed as well. Don't just make mention of the research title, the aims, the findings, without talking about the techniques and the skills that you had the chance to explore. And now, after talking about your research experiences, now talk about what you are currently doing. If you have completed school and then you are in a research area, like you are working in a given research firm, or you are working for any industry or any company, just make mention of what you are currently doing. Let them know that you are not just sitting, like say you are sitting home or you are not doing anything. Let them know that you are doing something. Let the admission committee know what you are currently doing. And then after talking about all these things, the next thing that I want you to talk about is to go straight and then talk about your research interest. Maybe you are interested in host pathogen interaction, or this is how it works. So you see, from your introductory paragraph, you introduce yourself, or like you give a foreshadow of the area that interests you, as well as your motivations in pursuing graduate studies in that area. So after talking about your research experience, the next thing that you have to do is to delve deep and then explain the specific interest that you have. Specifically, what do you want to do? So if, let's say, you are interested in maybe cancer biology, I don't want you to just say that I am interested in cancer biology as my research interest, or let's say I am interested in host pathogen interaction as my research interest, I am interested in diabetes mellitus as my research interest. This is too shallow. Just go deep. Think innovatively. think critically. Let them know that you are capable of thinking as a graduate student. You are capable of thinking as a very good scientist. So for instance, you are interested in cancer biology, so you can specifically talk about, let's say you want to explore how angiogenesis, how the inhibition of angiogenesis by maybe interleukins can help in fighting cancer cells, or like fighting cancer cells. Or maybe you are interested in exploring cancer cells, embryonic stem cells. You want to explore more about cancer stem cells and how that can be used for possible, how that can be used as a possible therapeutic target for treating cancer as a disease. Or maybe you are interested in host pathogen interaction. Let us know the specific thing that you want to do. So let's say you want to explore how certain viral particles interact with surface receptors of the host cell to trigger viral infections. Or let's say you want to explore how HIV virus invade CD4 T cells. You want to explore the various mechanisms and then possibly come out with a therapeutic target. Be specific about the exact thing that you want to do. Or maybe you are interested in diabetes, but you don't know the exact thing to do. Maybe you can just let them know that you want to explore how to develop an RNA-based pro-insulin vaccine for the treatment of diabetes mellitus. This is one research area that maybe you can choose to read more about and then explore. Or maybe you are interested in what we call the CAR T-cell therapy. CAR T-cell therapy is something great, one of the buoyant fields that is growing fast forward. So CAR T-cell therapy has to do with isolation of T lymphocytes from the cancer patients and then reprogramming them to target the cancer cells and then kill them. Other people too are exploring a lot more areas like antimicrobial resistance. Some people are exploring how bacteria develop resistance to certain group of antibiotics like the carbapenems and then the rest. So just take your time and then read more about from the literature and then get a clear focus that you want to explore, and make sure that whatever research focus that you are making mention of aligns with what the professors there are doing. So assuming that you are interested in cancer biology and you have a specific area that you want to focus on, but there is no professor in the university or there is no professor in the department who is currently working on cancers, I bet you the chances of you getting accepted is going to be low, because they believe that even when you get accepted to the school, no professor will supervise you. Nobody is doing the research that you are doing, and you are not the one who is going to change the research focus of a particular lab. No. So always tailor your interest to suit what the professors there are doing. That is why I always tell people that, to me, I don't support the idea of getting a single SOP and then using it to apply to every school. No, I don't support that idea. I would always encourage you to tailor your SOP to suit what the professors in the school that you are applying to are doing. But for your maybe educational background, your research experiences, you can feel free to maintain that. But for your introductory paragraph, where you introduce your motivations to apply to a particular field of study, or your motivations in applying to or exploring more about a particular condition, as well as your research interest, you should make it dynamic. Don't make it static. Make it dynamic and make sure that it always suits the research of what the faculty or like the department that you are applying to. Now, after talking about your research interest and then how it aligns with the professors in the school that you're applying to, then you move on to talk about why you chose to apply to the school. Why you chose to apply to a particular school in a particular country of interest. So let's say you're applying to a university in the United States. So the question is, why are you interested in the United States? Why not your home country? Or why not any other country but the United States? So you should let us know why you are applying to the schools in the United States. So for instance, you know that in the United States is what's at the forefront of technological advancement, and here we have a lot of universities that carry a lot of cutting edge research. So you believe that by getting the chance to learn or get your master's degree or PhD degree from here, you will receive advanced training and then in-depth understanding of your field of interest. Just say something nice. Say something nice about the country and then the school in general. Let us know why you are applying to a particular school. And normally, for the why you are applying to a particular school, make sure that it is because your research aligns with what the professors there are doing and how their mentorship will be valuable in what's giving you first-hand training and then advanced experience in your field of interest. So make sure to also make mention of the professors, some of the professors in the department that you are interested in their research. Don't just mention one professor's name and then stop. Mention at least 2 or 3 professors that you are interested in their research. So when you finish with this, the next thing that I will encourage you to do is to continue proofreading. Keep proofreading the SOP. Don't just send it. Don't just submit the application. Take your time to review it over and then over and then over, and try to send it to people to also review to you. You can send it to your friends, your colleagues who are also applying to the schools, or let's say if you know of someone who is in graduate school, you can forward it to the person and then the person can also help you review it. So after countless review of your statement of purpose, then you can go ahead and then submit your entire application and then keep your fingers crossed and then hope for the best. So this is basically how we write the SOP. This is basically all the information that you need to include in your SOP. A lot of information are available online, and I will encourage you not to limit yourself to what I'm sharing here. There are a lot more information, a lot more helpful information that you can also read or listen to them and then add them to your knowledge bank. I would attach a sample of statement of purpose to the description of this video, so feel free to read that and then modify it. I will not encourage you to copy it, but just read it and then get a fair knowledge of how to write a very good statement of purpose. And then I wish you all the best in your graduate school application journey. Thank you very much for watching this video. See you another time.